The Riverhawks coming off a championship in the UConn Holiday Hockey Tournament. Get ready for what is officially an exhibition game, a game against a traveling team from Russia. The Russian Red Stars were joined by head coach Norm Bazin. And Norm, first, I guess, a tip of the hat, congratulations for the team's performance in winning the UConn tournament, beating the University of Connecticut in overtime in the championship game. I guess, A, we put it behind us, but B, first, it feels good.
It feels great. I think it's very important for us to win tournaments like that because they mimic so very closely the NCAAs, and that's where we want to get to in the future.
That said, we should know David Valorani passed the 100-point milestone and had a terrific weekend. He was the MVP, and I know when you and I talked very briefly after the championship game, one thing that had impressed you was not so much the offensive side of the puck, but the completeness to Val's game during the weekend.
Yeah, that was some of Val's best hockey of the year, and he was working very hard on defense and pursuing the puck very aggressively, and that's what impressed me the most. And obviously the offense is something everybody sees in the stands, but the defensive aspects of the game and not giving anything up is something the coaches and his teammates see.
I should note this hockey club ranked 12th in the nation in the national polls. You and I haven't talked about national polls this year. I'm not sure. What is your take on national polls? How much do they mean?
Well, they mean something the last week of the year. Other than that, they don't mean a whole lot, to be honest with you. I'm not getting too preoccupied, nor will I, until the last week of the year, because I think you can waste a lot of energy looking at that stuff, and it's for the media more than the coaches, I think.
On Thursday night, Russian Red Stars visit the Saga Center. Is it a tough game to prepare for in that we don't know a lot about our opponents?
Well, with video these days and the fact that they've been on the West Coast playing some college teams, we do know more than we really need to about them. We've seen 3 games, the last 3 games here in the last 7 days of that club, so we know enough, and we know they're a very aggressive team. They shoot the puck from everywhere. They've got some speeds and some great skill. They're probably not as physical as the North American team overall, but their skill makes up for that.
Is there a difference between what we typically think of as North American college hockey and the type of hockey that I guess what would be junior players would be playing? Or I'm not sure exactly how to describe the Russian Red Stars. I know the age groups run into the 20s and I think some 21-year-olds as well. But is the style of play, is it a different type of game?
Well, I think it's a different culture. I think it's individualistic. It's very skillful. So I think you'll see a very entertaining hockey game. It should be a very fast hockey game. I think both teams can skate extremely well, and it should be exciting.
How do you approach this game? Is it a game and the bottom line is let's go out and win? Or does this give the coach, in that it is officially, from an NCAA standpoint, an exhibition game, does this give the coach the luxury of being able to experiment as he prepares for the rest of the schedule?
I think both. I think you go into every game wanting to win, and that's your main goal. If it's not, we're in the wrong business. However, at the same time, this is an excellent opportunity to try some different personnel and some different positions. An experiment, as you mentioned, is exactly what you're going to do with special teams, and there's several areas of our game that we need to improve upon, so we're going to use this game to do that.
Is there also a bit of North American pride here?
It has to be. It has to be. This is my first opportunity playing a Russian club, so I'm excited for it. I think a lot of guys in our dressing room are excited for it. As I mentioned earlier, there's going to be some different key personnel and different roles which are going to have to step up, so it's going to be exciting to see if those kids can do just that.
I suppose also it's important for this team to continue to maintain its momentum.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I'm not sure if the win, loss, or tie record has anything to do with that. Momentum, I think, can be gauged in many different ways. And I think we need to keep playing at pace, because after so many weeks off at Christmas time, you want to regain your timing and be able to play at pace, because when you get back into league play, everybody has a pretty aggressive game, and it's a fast skating game. So we want to bring that back as soon as possible again.
I know this is the first time in a number of years that we have played a traveling team from Russia or from anywhere in Europe. Is this something you like to see on the schedule? Is this something you would hope that we would have the opportunity to do in the future?
No question. I think having variety on your schedule is extremely exciting. I know in a couple of years we'll be venturing over to Minnesota to play a Christmas tournament. we have an opportunity to play the Russians this year. You like to play different opponents. I think it's a good experience for the student athletes and the coaches alike.
All right. Norm, I thank you for your time. We look forward to Thursday night. We remind people that is a 7 o'clock start at the Tsongas Center at UMass Lowell. We hope to see this building packed, and Coach, always a pleasure.
My pleasure.